Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Money Huddle. It's your boy Dre Rich. To my right, we got Shaq. What's good, bruh? How did you enjoy the weekend of these conference games?
Well, without a dog in the fight, that Denver Pats game, hell, you couldn't even see most of the second half. Like it was a blizzard, man, and there wasn't much to see. I don't know. There's some questionable moments in that game. Both coaches went for some questionable play calls late in those games that could have changed the outcome. But I mean, it was entertaining not having a dog in the fight. It's just not the teams I wanted to win. Like, I literally hate both of these teams. And if you follow the show, you know my feelings about Darnold and USC quarterbacks.
True. And we will get to that preview after we recollect over what we just went through this weekend. Hey, we had a good weekend, y'all. I'm not sure about y'all if y'all tell us or not. We had a good weekend. Starting with the game one, Patriots -4.5 at the Broncos +4.5. Over under was 42.5. We had the Broncos +4.5. We did a good job. We did a good job.
Well, and we told you guys.
We
told you guys I would take the under in this game too. I'm pretty sure. And 3.5 cash too, because it moved down to 3.5. And if you got it at 3.5, and it literally moved to 3.5 right when we finished recording. So as long as you guys were listening and you got it before game time, it was at 3.5 all the way up to game time. It fluctuated to 3 there for a minute, but yeah, this was easy here, guys. Didn't expect the weather.
Did not expect it to be snowing, but we knew it would be elevation, which is different for Drake May, who has not played the Broncos yet. We knew it would be different for him. We knew it was going to be tough for Jared Stidham to put any points up. Because it's a Vrabel defense. So we knew it was going to make it tough on the young man or on the veteran career backup.
And you got former Philadelphia Eagle Milton making that big play.
Milton,
I mean,
good job for sure.
There's a lot of guys we lost off that Super Bowl team that like Mekhi Becton, Milton, CJ DJ. Like we lost a lot of guys.
Talk about stopping the run. Milton can stop the run. Damn it.
Oh, up the middle, big presence.
We will get to that in a second too later on in the show because we had to talk about the preview of the Super Bowl. But we won our bet. Broncos +4.5. We knew it was going to be close, low-scoring game, and it all came together. Drake May was perfect in the INT department, but he was fumbling still. The man's a fumbler. Okay, so
yeah,
he might not give you INTs.
You can't bet on fumbles though.
Yeah, you can't bet fumbles, so it's kind of weird. They want us to do that, but he has small hands. He is a fumbler. He did not throw an INT this game. But Shaq's second prop cashed because Jared Stidham threw 31 passing attempts, did not throw over 31. It was real close. But that INT though, that last drive was going to ruin Shaq's prop. But he threw an INT. That was the end of the game. So he do it.
Trust me. I started praying right then and there.
His INT was minus 140, and he threw 2. So there you go. My prop number 1 was RJ Harvey touchdown. Did not happen. The Broncos they had nothing going for them, honestly. And RJ Harvey had a decent time. He wasn't a terrible asset in this game. He just did not do enough.
No, it was just ugly conditions and a lot of trying to run the ball into a brick wall that it's hard footing, hard ground, slippery, and it just came down to a trench warfare. And if you watch the game, that fake boot out to the left is what sealed it when Drake May, and apparently that was improvised. It wasn't a called play. It was supposed to be a handoff, and he was like, "No, I'm running for the first down." So,
yes,
I mean, that's what kind of conditions it was all game.
It was everyone was slipping. Off the snap, you were slipping. So
yeah,
It was a rough game to bet on any props in this game. Really, the biggest winner in this game was the Broncos plus 4.5. If you bet this game at all, that was the biggest bet. My second prop did cash. Marvin Mims had the most catches for the Broncos. He had 4 receptions. Everyone else just couldn't catch the ball. Okay, it was ugly. Even Evan Ingram only had 2 catches for 19 yards.
It's funny because I didn't really want to touch anything from the Rams-Seahawks game. If I'm being honest, as a bettor, what I did this weekend, I'll let you guys know. The only for sure things that I knew going into this weekend was Denver was going to cover 3.5, 4.5, 4.5 for sure. And I knew that we were going to have touchdowns in the Seattle Rams game from 2 certain players. And I was correct on those. And that's what cashed me out this weekend. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Other than that, I didn't really bet this weekend, but we had a good weekend on the podcast. And I should have bet more because we're just getting the bad stuff out of the way.
Oh, for sure. Having a small slate really has you have to really pick and choose what you're going for. Even though we're going to give you 3 picks each for this Super Bowl, maybe even more picks for the Super Bowl.
I was going to say, I've got some things I've been looking at studying these 2 teams because it's dialed in, guys. Like as much as I hate these 2 teams, I've studied them the last 4 or 5 days and going over stats, how they play in the red zone, defense, offense, and we'll see here. But I'm liking what I've got cooked up for you guys, and you'll have to watch the next episode to get some of our props. But we'll preview that game.
Even though there's even like the props that aren't even about the game, it's about the color of the Gatorade that gets poured on the coach.
Man, the wild shit.
I'm mentioning Tom Brady in this Super Bowl. Like, how many times will they be brought up, or will they talk about the Belichick snub from the Hall of Fame? Like, they might do a lot of things.
It's like, I'll tell you this. I had the year that speaking of Seattle, I had a buddy that, and I didn't even watch the Super Bowl because I distinctly remember my boy being sick that night. I ended up in the ER. He was only 2 back then. But it was the Broncos-Seattle game where the Peyton Manning got blown out. And my buddy bet $100 on a safety to be the first score of the game and cashed a shitload. I want to say it was 26-1. He made $2,600, and he ended up killing the rest of the night on that because he took Seattle the whole way, just the underdog card, and I will never forget that. So that's why I'm like, no, I coin flip. Coin flip's a big one too that a lot of people bet on. It's 50-50.
I like to do the length of the national anthem a lot. I do that a lot.
Chris Stapleton murdered it a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I'm a big Chris Stapleton fan, so that's actually dope.
Oh, me too, brother. Me too. And I took the over, and he smashed the over by like 40 seconds. Because it's Chris Stapleton. He's a blues man. He's going to improvise.
He has a lot of range to his voice. So I knew he was going to carry those notes a little longer. I knew he was.
Yeah.
Knew it, dude.
And a guitar player on top of that. That's all. Like, if you know Chris Stapleton, dude, he's going to draw this out. He's going to make it a signature. And it was probably one of the best national anthems ever. But, like,
they're going to have to do better.
You got to know certain things, guys.
They're going to have to do something better this year to outdo Chris Stapleton. He did a good job. But that was game 1. Game 2 was the Rams +4, Seahawks -4. We did not hit our consensus bet. But honestly, if you really look at our prop bets, they did not match our consensus bet. But we did think the under was going to happen. It was not the case because the Rams defense is really bad, guys. Their special teams is really bad.
Oof.
And something's going to happen. Something's got to happen with that team before they even contend again for a Super Bowl.
One of the few teams you haven't heard a lot of news as far as firing or replacing anybody. I mean, they did fire their special teams coordinator like week 15, 16. I can't remember the loss. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember what loss it was, but it was late in the season. They fired him before the playoffs.
Oh, was it
But
probably
it's
the
been
one
a
they lost to
weakness
the
all year.
last
Their
time?
secondary and their special teams. Secondary specifically. And Jared Verse, I feel like there's something wrong with him. He felt like he was hurt. He didn't seem like 100%. Like he just kind of plateaued from about week 11 on. They had no pass rush. Like he did have that block kick,
Their last
but
two, their last two losses were because of the special teams.
yeah.
Okay, they
Well,
they
shit.
allowed
I
the
mean,
Seahawks.
even the Eagles win early in the season was because of special teams, where we blocked a field goal for the win and took it back for more points.
Yeah,
That was like week 3. Like their special teams was most of their losses this year.
losing to the Seahawks back to back, off of special teams losses because they fumbled, they muffed the return, and that's what led to the touchdown that screwed them. And then
Well,
in the game before that, they allowed a return. They allowed the picks a return, a full return, which ruined them.
true. All right. I don't think we brought it up in the Broncos game, but there was a play late in the second quarter where the Broncos could have kicked it like a 33-yard field goal, and it was 4th and 1 or 4th and goal. So it was a chip shot field goal to go up 10-0, and you have Stidham in there. The weather hasn't gotten crazy yet, and you had a rollout pass with 4th and 1 on the goal. I felt like you got to take the points there. Changes the outs, the entire outlook of the game. Kick that field goal instead of Patriots taking over on downs on the 1. And it didn't turn into points for the Patriots immediately, but the weather got to shit. Stidham didn't look good, and you put too much trust in him in a rollout play on 4th and 1 instead of giving it to, let's say, RJ Harvey, for the touchdown. So we kind of got robbed there as far as our props. But at the same time, you kick that field goal, this game doesn't end 10-7, it's 10. And in those conditions, who knows? So that was a questionable call in that game. And then you get to this Rams-Seahawks playoff game. There was a 4th and 4 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and McVay went for it to score a touchdown. And if you kick the field goal, you're down by 1, right? Or was it you would have been down by 1 instead of what the final score was? They lost by 4. And that changes with 5 minutes left. Seattle doesn't go on that drive where they kill the entire clock. You get the ball back with 40 seconds. And then if you do make it a 1-point game and you stop them with that amount of time, where you're at, your entire play calling changes with the amount of time that's left, and you're going for a field goal. You're not trying to go 60 yards for a touchdown and that Puka play out of bounds ends the game. Your whole thing is to get in field goal range. And so those two calls really, really were the deciding factors in those games. And, it gets kind of overlooked by Sean Payton with the backup, but really Sean McVay makes no sense to me with 5 minutes, and you've already burned a timeout in that game on a challenge you lost. You only have 2 timeouts, and Seattle goes on a crazy drive. And if you had just kicked the field goal, then you're looking for a field goal because you stop them at the end of that game, but you have no time left and no timeouts. So there were some big coaching flaws in both of those games.
Truly, it was way high scoring, and everyone knew that they had to be at their best in order to beat the other team, and that's what showed. We should have been on that over, but we were not. But our props reflected the over because your first prop was Cooper Kupp over 32.5 receiving yards. He had 39. He had a good day. He had a touchdown. He's been doing his thing. He's showing that they say there was rumors that the Rams asked him to retire before he was let go and traded. So that's pretty sad.
It makes sense. coming off of 2 ACL surgeries within 3 years. Like, it makes sense.
But
I get it.
He's still the guy, and he showed them for sure that game. Your second prop was JSN touchdown. That cashed for me late in the game. I did not bet this bet until third quarter, and he had that in the end of the game. So it was really good to see that because I was sweating it.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of figured with that secondary, it just made sense. He's the number one weapon. You know, Cooper Kupp really hasn't averaged big yards all season. Touchdown was the one thing I wanted to take for Cooper, just being a revenge game in the playoffs, biggest moment against your old team. You know, I could have saw that one, but I knew JSN just felt like a lock. It was going to happen eventually against this Rams secondary, who's small, undersized, and a bunch of third, fourth, fifth, sixth round guys back there.
Yeah, they are not good defensively. I think there's a huge thing they got to fix next year, or else they're going to be the same result. They have the worst defense of the teams in their conference, I feel like. In their division. Sorry.
Yeah, that says a lot with San Francisco being as beat up and crippled as they are every year.
Honestly,
but they beat us with 7-string guys.
The Cardinals, they have a decent defense too. Almost as bad as the Rams. Like it's pretty bad for them.
Yeah, and they play a lot better at home. The Cardinals do. But, I mean, that's what's kept them in these games all year with Jacoby Brissett, who just, you know, they get behind and have to throw all year. That's why he finished as a top 10 quarterback in fantasy this year.
I really don't think that the Rams will be back here again next year. Not next year.
No, there was questions at the beginning of this year with Stafford and his back. We didn't think he might not even start this year with how bad his back was. So there was questions of that. His age is there. I mean, he's got another year on his contract if he wants to come back. But I just mean, he looked great. He might win the MVP this year, but without a defense, you know, he played perfect for 3/4 of the season. But I don't know, man. You lost to Sam Darnold.
He's gonna win. He's gonna win for sure the MVP because he threw for 374 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he looked like a baller.
What did Drake May do? Nothing.
He ran the fucking ball.
That's not good enough, bro. That ain't how you win an MVP. So I think that Stafford, at the very least, deserves the MVP. Will they announce that before the Super Bowl or after?
Should be this weekend. I think the ESPYs are this weekend.
Hey, well, if it's Super Bowl not included, then it's definitely going to be Matt Stafford, 100%. He has way there. He's he'll be an MVP, Super Bowl champion. He'll be going to the Hall of Fame, guaranteed.
Yeah, I think we've got ESPYs and Pro Bowl flag football, whatever the hell that is. Don't tune in unless you like skills. Ryan Leaf looked good once in a Pro Bowl game.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I wouldn't watch it. But
it's not good.
My first prop was Puka Nacua, 90+ receiving yards. He crushed this line, 165 on him. He is the best
unguardable.
You cannot guard him.
Fucking guardable.
He did this on the number one defense, anyone can get it.
Bro. Yeah. And that's a 4th round guy. So is Cooper Kupp.
As long as you know the grit, which is why it's important that you college kids do the combine. Do the freaking combine. All you guys, I'm too good for the combine. I ain't got to do all that. They know what I'm worth. No, we don't, actually. We know with your team you play for. We know how good you are with the team, but you ain't going to have the same team. What is your individual talent looking like?
Yeah. NIL don't mean shit in the NFL. I'll tell you that right now. You are above it. Like, don't go in there and start throwing interviews like Shador. Like, if your last name wasn't Sanders, dude, you might not have been drafted like your brother. where the Bucks cut because he thought it'd be okay to fight in a preseason game.
Idiots, bro. But
Stupid.
don't be young and dumb. Be
No.
adult and smart.
And Puka has done nothing but work at his craft. And it helped that he had a vet like Cup in there. But a lot of vet guys have come through. Like, who was there? Robinson was there when he was there. Like, he's learned from vet guys, Allen Robinson and, Cooper Cup as a slot guy. 2 different guys. Plus, he's just a big body dude with speed. And you double cover him, he's still going to beat you. Like, I'm telling you, he killed a jackpot as a kid. Like,
yeah, man's legit. And I guarantee you next year, regardless of who the quarterback is, I hope Matthew's staying. I think Matthew will stay for 1 more year and have a proper send-off. But
I think they will, just because this year's quarterback draft is shit. And if they do suck next year, Stafford's last year, McVay's going to handpick the dude that comes in one way or the other. But McVay likes vets by the way it is. You know what I mean? I'd be interested to see what McVay does when Stafford retires, because it's not if, it's when.
Well, they got Stetson Bennett, the backup. Let's go.
Okay.
He likes vets. He's a vet. 25, 27.
Yeah. That's cool. Carson Beck is too. He'll be a rookie next year.
Well,
about the same level of talent, bro.
NBA quarterbacks in the same building. Let's go.
A lot of Georgia boys in LA.
That's true. Dre, my pop number 2 was Kenneth Walker. Anytime touchdown was a guaranteed. Not even sweat. He's minus 180 right now to score in the Super Bowl, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah, and a big part of that has to do with Charbonnet not being in it.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna have an easy time. I think it'll be more of a passing game for the for the Seahawks than it will be a running game for them. I think it'll be up to Sam Darnold. Darnold has to save a day, or else it's over.
Yeah, because if you really look at this game, Vrabel is a defensive coach, but what do he play? Outside linebacker, edge rusher. He's going to stop the run. Kenneth Walker he hasn't really been the answer all year. Like, he never has been for the last 5 years. Healthy or not, Kenneth Walker is not going to be the answer. And I'm telling you right now, Vrabel's game plan will be to put pressure on Darnold and make him throw. Make him win the game. And you still got Gonzalez in the secondary to worry about. So JSN is going to have a tough day. It's going to come down to Shaheed. It's going to come down to Shaheed, really.
And Barner.
Yeah. It's going to come down to the role players. It's that time of year.
Yeah, it will be not big names. But I do think Stephon Diggs has he gets a little loose. I don't know how, but I think he does.
I think he wants to ball out in this game particularly.
Yeah. But that was a 7-3 conference championship bet record. Y'all didn't even know. We were 7-3. 7 for 10. We were giving y'all winning picks this last weekend. So this is a good thing to go into this Super Bowl episode next week. Y'all should have so much trust in us going into this game. You should be,
and we're gonna have
ready.
Props galore.
You should have had money in those last couple of weeks that got you to this point. If you were betting with us all year, you should have money from the beginning of this year to this point in time, ready to bet on the Super Bowl.
You should be ahead. If you took every bet that we gave you individually all year and put however much money you want to put on every single bet, the same amount, you would be ahead this year.
Yeah.
Just saying, guys.
We're doing our job. All we want you to do is like and subscribe, share the podcast, tell a friend. Hey, tell some
couple clicks, couple double taps.
The best way to tell your friend that you watch a new podcast is like, hey, I won some money watching these two talk about sports. That is enough said.
Where did you win some money at and why?
Yeah, clearly. I'll ask you why. Give them the podcast, and then like and subscribe. Get all the alerts. Okay, well, we got this coaching carousel. Okay, one thing you can definitely bet on is that there's coaches who will be fired and replaced. Okay, so this is the second part of our last week's conversation of the coaching carousel. Let's start it off with the replacement of Mike Tomlin, a legendary coach in the Steelers' eyes, with Mike McCarthy. What do you think about Mike McCarthy, bro?
I like this bet. I like this. This is one that I actually do like. Homeboy, he is a Pittsburgh native. He wears Steelers stuff. You know, you go back and look. He talks like he's from Pittsburgh. He talks like that. He's from Pittsburgh. Singular. You go watch that press conference, you'll hear nothing but Pittsburgh come out of that man's mouth. So I'm excited because Pittsburgh has been known for a defensive-minded coach. Tomlin has been nothing but defense. He is a leader of men. McCarthy is offensive driven. It really drives the narrative home that, you know, Aaron Rodgers might come back for one more year, kind of like the Rams we were talking about. Have a vet quarterback in there and go get your guy next year because it is a loaded QB class that we thought this year would be. And NIL has kind of fucked that up. Guys are staying in college a lot longer. You guys got, you know, Manning. Arch Manning's going to come out at like 22, 23 years old. That's almost old in the NFL now. But he's going to be seasoned in Texas. And there's a big quarterback draft next year. So it'll be interesting to see. I like this hire. I think this is a step in the right direction for the Steelers. That defense that they overpaid for, there's going to be some questions there. But you still got some solid pieces in TJ Watt, Joey Porter Jr., who's on a rookie deal still. You've got pieces there. You've got Cam Hayward. I think he's on his last year of his deal. He's been a solid vet, but it's getting old. And this is a good defensive draft this year. If they can keep Rodgers, I feel like they'll be more competitive next year, especially with the comfortability of McCarthy. I like this hire. I think him being a hometown kid is going to really put some energy in that room. I feel like it's going to put some energy in him. And come on, man, he made the Dallas Cowboys competitive. So if he can do that, he can win a Super Bowl in Green Bay and beat his hometown team because he beat Pittsburgh to get that. In his press conference, he talked about bringing that 7th trophy to Pittsburgh, and that's the kind of energy I like. And I feel like this is probably the best hire for the Steelers out of anybody available.
Yeah, I don't think it's the best hire. I think they should have went after Clint Kubiak as well. They usually go after younger coaches who can coach for a long time. They usually don't replace coaches very often. So you got Mike McCarthy right now, who is already old in his tooth, you know, as a coach. He ain't got many years left to coach left. He got like 5 years left, if that. So I think they usually go for the younger guys who they can keep in for 7 to 10 plus years. So they can have that establishment of, hey, we are a team, organization that trusts their coach multiple years, as long as they're 9-8 or better, 8-8 or better, even or better.
Which has really hurt them, honestly. I mean, you can pick draft picks. You know, you're talking about 20-something pick, 16 to 20-something every year, which is kind of the high end of second round, if we're being honest. Like, there's only really like 10 players every year, and they're not always taken in the first round. But that placement has hurt you. Your draft room has hurt you. You know, and it's awesome that Tomlin has kept a winning record. But let's be real here. Most of it is just keeping one nostril above water in some years, finishing 9-8, 8-8, 8-7-1, 9-7-1. It's been rough the last 10 years. And like Tomlin left on a 7-game playoff losing exit in the first round the last 7 years. So I don't know. I think this is a good hire. Offensively, I like it. It's not Arthur Smith and his dumbass run game and terrible passing offense. McCarthy's going to bring some exciting elements. It just depends at the quarterback position. So I really feel like this is a good hire if Aaron Rodgers decides to come back for 1 year and they find somebody on the other side of DK Metcalf, maybe in the draft.
Definitely going to be a situation where Aaron Rodgers should stay for 1 more year. Just because you definitely want this to be the swan song. Well, you got your old coach who you started off with. This is who got you where you were. This is who made you the man as you were. Go ahead and swan song it off with Mike McCarthy. Y'all were hating each other after y'all both left, and you have resurfaced each other into a different organization. This is a call from the Steelers organization front office that, hey, Aaron, you don't hate McCarthy for real. McCarthy, you don't hate Aaron. Go ahead and send it off together. Just go ahead and enter off into the sunset. Coach your ass off. Play your ass off. We know each other's tendencies already, and I think this is going to also help DK Metcalf not be pissy about the new coaching stuff too. So.
Oh man, he already done cost himself. He can't be pissy because he can lose a lot of money for just saying the wrong thing.
True, but
Bills, when you swing on fans.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. Bills replace Sean McDermott with Joe Brady. What do you think about Joe Brady? We both already agreed that Sean McDermott should not have been fired. Can we all agree that Sean McDermott should have his job? But is this a good replacement?
No, this is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Let's not forget that Joe Brady was the one calling the plays. He's the offensive coordinator. You have no wide receivers. You're not going to tell me that Joe Brady didn't have an input in Sean McDermott's defensive mind, as autistic as he might be, about Keon Coleman. You're telling me that wasn't Brandon Beane's idea? Nothing's changed here. If anything, your defense got worse, which it was already bad because you didn't have any players, and Sean McDermott was the defensive mind. And really, that defense was bend, don't break. Give up as many yards as you want, except for when it counts. They kept games close. They made plays when they needed to, for the most part, all year. And I don't think you get that with Joe Brady, who comes into this press conference with the same offense, nobody at wide receiver. You haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver the last 2 years. Let's just make you the goddamn head coach. Why not? You don't know how to get anybody the ball consistently, but you're going to be the fucking head coach, buddy. That sounds good to me. It's terrible. Terrible decision.
I do think that there is some favoritism, some inside relationships going on because, like you're saying, I don't think that the Keon Coleman decision was all Sean McDermott. There's
no way.
Everyone has to be involved in that pick. Everybody. But
yeah, and if Brandon Beane disagreed, cool. That means everybody else, somebody was the deciding factor in there. And Joe Brady was the fucking offensive coordinator, and he couldn't do anything with it.
I think something has to do with Josh Allen. I think he wanted Sean McDermott gone.
Which, it doesn't make sense to stick with Joe Brady. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe there's something behind the scenes. Maybe there was some overriding in play calls that were in certain situations that he didn't agree with, that Sean McDermott, X'd, said, no, we're going to do this. I don't know. Well, but I'll tell you this, too. You just saw Allen come out of that press conference on crutches after foot surgery. Like, his foot was fucked up for like 4 weeks going into that game. So I don't know. He was pretty emotional at the end of that press conference. He kind of knew he'd cost Sean McDermott his job. And I don't think it was Josh Allen, even though he was a part of all these interviews. If you ask me, I would have took Phillip Rivers as my OC and not Joe Brady as a head coach and figured the head coach part out. I don't know. I think this is no change. I don't think this puts the Bills anywhere better or worse. And we'll see, because this Patriots team going into next year, as far as the division's concerned, they had the easiest fucking schedule They're going to play a first-place schedule next year. And Josh Allen's Josh Allen, but you've really got to figure out the receiver. And if you're going to be the head coach, you're going to take responsibility for when receivers don't do their job. It's not going to be Sean McDermott out there on the podium. It's going to be your ass. And if I'm not mistaken, you haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver the last 2 years. That's not on Sean McDermott.
I think that Joe Brady could possibly help acquire a receiver from a different team. I think that makes them a little bit more lovable to go to because Sean McDermott's a defensive mind. Joe Brady is not a defensive mind. Okay.
No.
I think that this is going to be an attraction spot for a disgruntled receiver. Maybe
AJ Brown.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
You might with a. You're playing with a team who throws the ball like that. Y'all don't throw the ball like that. They do. So this could be a thing. So I'm not hating too hard on the Joe Brady replacement. I don't want there to be a one at all. I think Sean should have kept his job. We all agree with that. But since the dominoes already fell where they may, Joe Brady replacing him, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's decent. It ain't the best, but it's better than Dayball. I would not bring back Dayball. That's crazy. They even thought about bringing back Dayball.
As a head coach, yeah.
No. But I think Joe Brady, if I was the Bills, I wouldn't be too pissed about it. But now we're on to the Eagles. Eagles hire Sean Mannion as OC. Josh Grizzard is your passing game coordinator, right? So why do you interview both guys for the OC job? You give one guy the OC job, and then you give the other guy just the passing coordinator job.
So bad, bro. So fucking bad. All right, I'll tell you why. Okay. Sean Mannion was a goddamn backup quarterback 2 fucking years ago, and he moved from 2 different teams. He's did nothing but a practice squad player his whole fucking career. And you're going to tell me this guy's going to come in and change the offense? He's never called plays in his fucking life. Josh Grizzard, who the fuck is that? Couldn't tell you. And the rumor is you got Nick Sirianni, he's going to call plays next year. And one of these 2 guys is going to be the fall guy. And the problem is, if you guys suck next year, you're all the fall guy. You're all getting fired because you've wasted salaries, talent, and championship window. And it's so sad that we can't get an offensive coordinator mind, a proven guy. And I've said it. I wanted John Gruden. There was rumors about him all the last 2 weeks. The Jets, even though he said, I'm not – nobody ever called me from the Jets. Wish them luck. Fuck that. Don't want it. But, at least call Gruden. Sean Mannion. And the worst part is he was a quarterback coach for who? The Packers? Great. Jordan Love's ass. You get into the fucking playoffs with a barely winning record 2 out of your last 3 years, and everybody wants to blow you off like a fucking $2 whore. I cannot stand Jordan Love, bro. I can't. And then you're going to take the quarterback coach from that guy? Malik Willis. Yeah, Malik Willis gets outside the pocket because he's got legs and athleticism. You're not going to tell me that that's because of Sean Mannion. Sean who? Come on, bro. He's a fall guy. And the problem is they're all fall guys. This is not a good hire. It's just not.
I'm not going
Jim Bob Cooter's out there, bro. And he made Megatron a 1,000-yard receiver on a fucking sub-500 playoff team.
Like 12 years
with the Lions.
Like 12 years ago, though. I'm just saying, bro, Sean Mannion, he improved Jordan Love's numbers. Jordan Love threw 11 INTs in 2024. He threw only 6 this year. He had 101 passer rating this year. He was a top 10 quarterback in rating. So
Okay.
I wouldn't hate too much on Mannion right now, bro. Give him a chance. He can't be worse than your
No,
other boy.
I mean, my problem is we don't need quarterback coaching. We need a fucking play caller.
You have to trust your head coach to call plays.
Well, that's it. I don't. You want to know why I don't? Because everybody in the fucking world knew Kevin Petula was a problem week 8 of the season. And that stubborn, autistic ass in Nick Sirianni was like, nope, that's my guy. That's my guy. I eat peanut butter and jelly every day at 12:05. That's my guy. And it was a problem. Everybody knew it. It was a problem. When you're at 4th down and 10 and your season's on the line, you don't call 4 verticals and say, figure it out, Jalen, on a timeout. You call a timeout, that's the play you call? Come on, man. No. It's not good.
It's not good, but if it goes wrong again, you know whose head will roll. It'll be his.
All of them.
Probably all of them. But I think this is a step in the right direction. Hiring a guy who's not your friend, who's not the friend of Sirianni.
No.
He's not a friend. He has no allegiance to him. I do think you will score more points per game. I do think you will improve somewhat, depending on what happens in the offseason specifically. But I do think y'all can't get worse than what you were. So I will take that for what it is.
Yes, we can.
We are
this is an Eagles podcast, but we can be worse. And this hire is not better than what we were. You can't convince me, especially if we lose A.J. Brown.
Hey, this is all on record, so we'll be bringing this clip back next year whenever you're averaging.
And if we end up winning, and it looks a lot better next year than this year, I will eat crow. I swear, guys, I will eat it. But right now, I'm not happy as an Eagles fan. I don't know what the Philadelphia fan base is, but it's not good. I'm guaranteeing you we go out and get blown out week 1. There's going to be Kill Mannion signs week 2 in Philadelphia.
Money Huddle episode 52 was when Shaq will eat crow about Sean Mannion. Sean Mannion's not that bad, bro. I actually don't hate the hire personally. But you are the Eagles ambassador for the show, so I will trust your judgment. And you don't like this man, and you don't want him to be your coach. But we will see. Browns
can't stand it.
Now Browns downgraded, and you can go ahead and talk to me about why you like Todd Monken, but the Browns replaced Kevin Stefanski, a Coach of the Year candidate, with Todd Monken, who couldn't give Derrick Henry the ball.
Yeah, that's terrible. But let me tell you what Todd Monken has done over his last 3 years in Baltimore. He is top 4 passing, number 1, rushing, number 3, scoring, number 2, and then points per game, number 2, as an offensive coordinator. The Browns need this. The problem is Jim Schwartz was like, my defense has been impeccable since day fucking 1. I'm either a head coach of this team or you can suck it. And he's under contract, but he's not happy that they hired Monken. But I think this is a combo. If they can get Jim Schwartz to come back, I think Todd Monken can make Shedeur Sanders a part of his offense. He's got a lot of characteristics of a young Lamar who sucked at throwing the ball but had legs, could get outside of the pocket, needs to not back up. Lamar used to back up to make runs happen in college in Louisville. So I think Todd Monken, considering how fucked he is on the cap with Deshaun Watson's terrible fucking contract that just looms over everybody like Bobby Bonilla Day for the Mets. It's not good. I actually like this hire a lot. Like, I don't understand why you fired Kevin Stefanski, But I hear that there was a lot of strife between Kevin Stefanski and Shador Sanders. He was a big Dylan Gabriel guy. And the talent, everybody knew it, was in Shador. You might not like him personally, but it's not about that. It's about winning for the team. And you saw it in press conferences. Even when Shador had a good game, he would shit all over him. He's like, yeah, but it's a team game. We'll see how he fits in. I like the hire of Stefanski in Atlanta, but I like Todd Monken here. The offense will look better next year. You're going to lose Njoku for sure. I think he's a free agent this year, but you replaced him with that rookie Fannin, and Fannin's look great. And he's going to plan. You know where he comes from? He comes from a two tight end system in Baltimore with Isaiah Likely that they fucked over this year. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the Browns and reunites with Monken. And I don't know, man. I like this hire. I don't see why they fired Stefanski other than the fact that they know they have to ride with Shador for at least this next year, if not the next 2 years. And if Monken can turn him into a 10-win quarterback this year, where he showed flashes of talent, but if he can harness that and get a system in, I like this hire.
I will say the Todd Monken hire is really good for Quinshon Judkins. Okay, it is good for
when he comes back.
Because I do think that if Derrick Henry had better receiving skills, he would have fit better in that Todd Monken system. Quinshon can definitely do everything. He's an every down back. Do whatever you want him to do, he'll do it. So I think that helps out. And I do think it helps out Shador's long-term situation with the Browns. I was scared that if they did keep Kevin Stefanski, that Shador's days are numbered already for this Browns team. But now Todd Monken is there. I think he does take that chance that I think the front office wants to take a chance on Shador. And they were like, Kevin's really anti-Shador. Let me just because we have
even in the press conferences, man, you could just tell he is not about it. Like, he just didn't like him. And I don't know. I mean, I get it. I get why. He seems like the kind of guy that's straightforward, do what I tell you, military-like guy. And Shador's not that guy, But I think Shador is coachable. It just has to be the right mindset. And we'll see what Monken does here, especially if the offense starts clicking. Because the defensive pieces they have, if it's Jim Schwartz, you're guaranteed it to be good. But the defense has got so much talent that if you just put a decent name in there, it sucks that Gannon's gone, but Gannon would have been a good candidate there. But I'm just saying, he's under contract, Schwartz is. The only reason I think he would come back is you're under contract, and what are you going to do? Be the Raiders coach? You're going to be the Cardinals head coach? There's not much out there for you, man. So he can be pissed off all he wants, but this could be a match made in heaven that doesn't get along very well.
I think there could be some coaching opportunities next year that were some better teams getting rid of coaches. I think the Bengals job is going to be open next year.
Oh yeah, it's Super Bowl or bust.
It's over.
The money that they have on the offensive side of the ball. Don't get me wrong. This draft they need to attack, but they need to get defense and they need to get good. And they haven't hired anybody on defense. I don't even think they've fired their defensive coordinator. I don't know what the hell's going on in Cincinnati, but you should go out and get one of these defensive guys immediately.
Zach Taylor's days are freaking numbered, dude. Man, he is not good, dude.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Talent has carried him as a coach.
Yeah.
And he has not lived up to it.
And you're lucky to have a nice guy like a Joe Burrow who want to put you under the bus. But I'm telling you,
he's sick of it, man. You could tell by those press conferences at the end of the year.
Honestly, the injuries to Joe Burrow has been kind of saving Zach Taylor, personally.
Yeah, but
Oh,
You only
man,
go so long.
I didn't have him for half the season the last 2 years. Well, you still suck, dude.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think Schwartz should wait one more year, do what he can with Kevin with Todd Monken. Maybe go to the playoffs. Take the Browns to the playoffs again, and then that will for sure get you somewhere in the future.
And I feel like this division's wide open with the carousel of coaches that went through there. Everybody got replaced with Zach Taylor somehow.
Yeah. But going on to where Kevin Stefanski went. Kevin went straight to ATL. So Falcons replaced Raheem Morris with Kevin Stefanski. If Jim Schwartz does leave the Browns, you should go hire Raheem Morris. He's not a good head coach, but he can coach a freaking defense, dude. So
yes. Yes. And Atlanta's defense showed up at home all year.
All year. So if you do lose Jim Schwartz because he's salty, which I hope he does not, go look for Raheem Morris.
He's under contract, and if he's don't get me wrong, he's not the first guy to walk out on a contract, trying to think back. Who is that? Kevin Haley. It was Haley. Haley, the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. He walked out of that job.
Yeah.
Said, nope. Todd Haley. Said, not today.
Haley,
yeah. Schwartz gives me those vibes. He could, but you look at the jobs that are open, I don't see him going anywhere.
What do you think of Kevin Stefanski in ATL?
You're losing Kyle Pitts most likely.
What?
You still got Bijan. He's a free agent. Free agent this year, man. Pretty sure. I'll have to look into that. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent.
That just really sucks if he does.
Yeah, because the talent's there. He just doesn't have the coaching his entire career there. Even though his numbers are decent. But you for sure have Bijan.
You're right.
You for sure have Drake. Free agent?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he could sign back, but the only for sure things are Drake London and Bijan. And then, honestly, at least he's not walking into the Deshaun Watson situation he's dealt with in Cleveland this whole time. But you're walking into who you're going to start, a busted two-knee Michael Penix or an old-ass Achilles-ridden Kirk Cousins. There's a decisions to be made there. I'm not saying he can't win with those guys. You look at his track record. He didn't win Coach of the Year with MVP candidates. You know what I'm saying? He took the Browns to the playoffs 2 of the 3 times they've been to the playoffs in the last 20 fucking years. Yeah. He is a good coach. There's just questions there that I'm really looking forward to that division next year because it really is a small market division all the way around. But Kellen Moore and Tyler Shook, they've surprised me, and I think that division could be a lot better. Carolina was really good. Stefanski obviously makes this team better, and this was a 3-way tie for first. We're 8-9 in this division, and I think Stefanski at least makes this a 9-10 win team with at least the 2 guaranteed pieces that I was telling you with Drake London and Bijan Robinson. We'll see what they do with Kyle Pitts, but he's going to want a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm sure he's glad that he's going away from cold ass Cleveland, going to a dome, ATL. Nice out here. Everybody I play, nice weather. My division is so nice. It's awesome out here.
Or they're in a dome.
Yeah, really. Domes and warm weather. He deserves it. He's a Coach of the Year candidate, bro. What else do you want from the man?
Exactly.
But Raheem Morris, man, you tried. I don't think you're a head coach, bro. I really don't. So
I think the Penix pick fucked him. I thought that was a bad pick.
Yeah, bad pick.
With his injury history, I think it was just a bad pick, especially what they traded to go up and get him.
He's likely to have one more chance. Or they go and get a free agent. They got Russell Wilson. They got We got Trey Lance.
Hefty Wilson.
Bro. Trey Lance is out there too. Free agent.
Garbage man, dude.
Free agent still too. Malik Willis is probably the hottest free agent.
Malik Willis will be a Jet next year. You're welcome.
That'd be nice.
It would be nice. Not for him.
He's not bad.
But for a chance.
He's not bad at all.
No, you might get 8 wins.
I'll take that. Packers.
I would too at this point, bro.
Yeah, speaking of middling teams like that, Packers replace Jeff Hafley, their defensive coordinator, with Jonathan Gannon. Jeff Hafley is trash, and he got the head coaching job for
at Miami.
For the Dolphins, bro.
Yeah,
we're gonna whoop his ass, dude. I told you that last episode. We're gonna whoop his ass.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, Jonathan Gannon as a head coach did not perform well. Could not use Marvin Harrison right. Couldn't figure out Kyler Murray, who honestly is trash in my opinion. I mean, Trey McBride, yeah, he had that down, but I think he had such a good scheme for Trey McBride because of his time with Philadelphia and Zach Ertz. I think that's the offense he ran. That's what he knew. That's what he'd been running since he came to Arizona off of that Super Bowl run where we lost, or where we won with Zach Ertz, where Zach Ertz used to have the receptions record before Trey McBride. And I don't know, Jeff Hafley, I don't know what he's going to do. He was a defensive coordinator, right?
Yeah, Jonathan Gannon is going to take over his defensive coaching for the Packers.
Yeah, and Jeff Hafley went to Miami. He was also the defensive coordinator, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is a downgrade for the Packers, to be honest, because the Packers defense was the heart of their team towards the end of the season. That defense was smash mouth, shutting guys down, keeping Jordan Love's bum ass and injured fucking receiving corps in games. Packers lost 5 of their last 6 games to end the season. 6 of their last 7 if you include the first round exit. They went 9-7-1. They tied the Cowboys. And it wasn't because of their offense. So, I don't know. I think this is a downgrade for the Packers.
Jeff Hafley's last 3 appearances were not pretty defensively. He gave up 31 to the Bears in a loss. Gave up 16 to the Vikings. Gave up 41 to the Ravens without Lamar. Gave up 22 to the Bears in the first meeting. Well, in the second meeting. Give up 34 to the Broncos, who are not a good offense, honestly. Like this is I think this is a great improvement. Jonathan Gannon is going to be a much better improvement to this Packers defense. I'm going to probably draft him in drafts next year for late rounds in the draft, probably.
I like Gannon as a DC over a head coach. Yes. So I'm glad he doesn't have any input in the offense in Green Bay, obviously with LaFleur there.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. He's been out of Arizona played well defensively at home all year. But I think they gave up. They went 3-14?
Yeah.
Like they were not very good this year. Like their defense, offense, whatever, still let him out of here. So we'll see what he does here. To me, this feels like a baseline. It's about the same to me. The defense is good. We'll see what, Gannon schemes up as far as the talent. But, I mean, I feel like Miami, terrible hire in Jeff Hafley. Jonathan Gannon is just plug and play. It's kind of the same. It's not much of an upgrade, but I don't think they got worse.
I think this is exactly how your Eagles hiring went. It wasn't worse, but you don't know the ceiling. It ain't that high of a ceiling.
No, it's not good.
What
Mark the
is
show,
good?
boys. Episode 52.
Hey, that wasn't good. But what is good, and you think this is a really good move? Brian Daboll joins Robert Saleh in Tennessee. Why do you like this?
Yes, Brian Daboll is the OC, and then you've got Robert Saleh as the head coach. So he's pretty much the defensive coordinator as well. He's going to bring his guys in there. New York, your Jets cut him way too early. He was mad, dude. He wanted to take some heads with him going out that motherfucker, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you go back and look at the reports. He was not happy. He should not have been fired.
No.
So I like – and this is a complete rebuild here. You saw what he did with young guys, practice squad guys, 7-string guys, made them competitive, won a playoff game. So the rebuild here, I'm sure, with Saleh, he's negotiated into his contract a long-term deal. It's going to make it hard for them to get rid of him. He just wants time to prove he can do it. And Brian Daboll can call an offense. You know, that's what he's been good at. He's not a good head coach, just like Jonathan Gannon. I don't think he's a leader of men. I think he's good at one thing. This man got Danny Dimes to the playoffs in a playoff win. I think he saw the talent in Scadaboo. Obviously, he saw the talent in Jackson Dart. He saw the talent in Malik Neighbors. I mean, those are all his guys. And the defensive side of the ball, you know, I think Daboll is a good hire at OC. He's not going to take the blame here. And they're working with Cam Ward, so he gets a young guy. He gets to put his imprint on with weapons, hopefully in this draft. And then you got Robert Saleh to back the defense. And the defense, honestly, was the best part of Tennessee this year. You know, as bad as they were on offense and as bad as their offensive line was, they had no receivers. Their defense kept a lot of games close that they should not have been in, considering how bad their offense is. So I like this hire. I don't think they win the division next year, but I think they're way more competitive. I think this automatically turns them into a 7-8 win team. It doubles their wins.
I think you're right, man. I didn't even know about this, so you told me this before the show. So I added to the show. But
only because I wanted Daboll in Philly.
You didn't want Daboll. I'm surprised he took the OC job somewhere. I thought he was going to be waiting or hunting for a head coaching job. But he obviously held no to the Cardinals. Hell.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that withdrew their name. Respectfully. Not today, dog.
He's like, you want to ruin my career worse than it already is?
Stupid. I'm not going to let you get the chance.
It's like, I just coached the Giants, bro. I'm not about to take this shit.
Yeah, this is a different type of embarrassment. No.
Yeah. But I think that's why he likes Saleh being the fall guy here. He's like, I just call the offense.
You like that this is Saleh getting 4, maybe even more years to try and get things going. They're starting from ground zero with this team. And I think this is a better situation because in the Jets, I am a Jets fan, and we are not a Jets podcast, but we have a Jets fan on the podcast.
Damn. I will say Saleh's draft history, even if you go to the Jets, this guy, he was a part of Sauce Gardner. He was a part of Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. Okay, so he knows offense as well as defense.
Yep. And
so you've got that kind of mind as far as coming into Tennessee in a mainly defensive draft this year. Yep. Over half the first-round picks will be defensive players. And I think he's going to know in these later rounds who he's looking for, what he's going to – he is a leader of men. And I feel like these two guys, Brian Daboll and Robert Saleh's personalities match because they're, you know, yell at a player, get up their ass kind of a guy.
Yeah.
And you know who isn't like that? Aaron Rodgers, because he's the only motherfucker who wants to yell. He don't want to be yelled at. And so I feel like that was the reason Saleh got cut out of New York.
I also think that this is a good hire by the Titans because they're actually putting Saleh with a capable mind offensively. They gave him Jeff Ulbrich in New York.
Yeah.
Jeff Ulbrich is OC. What the hell's going
And
on?
I think that's and like we were saying before the show, that's Salah's weakness as far as is he's going to have a defensive scheme. He's going to have a defense ready to play. He's going to have a defense that keeps 20 points the bare minimum they're going to score on you, and that's it. They're not going to get more than 20, and if they do, we failed. They shouldn't get 20. And the problem is he doesn't have the offense to complement that, and it's been the mind calling the plays everywhere he's been. You see what Shanahan does when he's a DC. Obrick, man, that's terrible. But I like this because Dayball has the same mindset as him, and he's aggressive on offense. So Tennessee will be competitive next year.
He's also in a division where it can get sticky. Okay, you could sneak around and win this division.
Yeah, and especially where this division has defensive heavy teams that keep the games close because of their defense. The highlight isn't their offense for the most part. So this could be a sneaky 10-win division win team. Like this division just got way tighter.
I think these teams are all going to split, and then we'll have to just go from there.
Bro, yeah, if you get 10 wins, you win that division next year type shit. Like,
definitely.
It really, I would say Texans for sure, but CJ Stroud, he did not look good in the playoffs this year, and it really comes down to quarterback play in Houston. And you can't tell me that Davis Mills is going to come in and be the guy that gets you a ring. There's questions there. And there's questions on Cam Ward, but we'll see what Dayball does with him. And then Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen, we'll see. Etienne, this is the first time he's looked good his whole career. Lawrence, first time he's looked this good his whole career. We'll see. Like, there's a lot of questions in that division.
This is the best first step of any of the teams in this division's offseason. They started off hot.
If this was the hires in Philly, we'd be having a completely different conversation right now.
Yeah, these are great hires. And I think that this will make players want to come to this team. Maybe and then Njoku goes, "Hey, I want to be that of a young quarterback."
You got two head coaches in two different primary spots within your team. There's some big leaders in that. I think they're going to be really good.
We saw what Evan Ingram did with the Giants whenever he was a Giant, and maybe some guys like Njoku might want to see what's up with that. There are a lot of people who have had their time, and they are looking for they're not chasing Super Bowls. I think Njoku might chase Super Bowl. He might, but some guys want to get paid, like a Goddard.
Yeah,
a Goddard just wants to get paid probably. So
I'll change your mind on that. Goddard took a pay cut to stay with Philly this last year. That's the only place he wants to play. And I don't know about going into next year, but we'll see. He took a pay cut. He took less money to stay in Philly last year.
Maybe it's time to get their money worth because you had a great year this year. A great year.
Led the league in touchdowns at the tight end position.
The man's a big-ass receiver.
He scored the only fucking touchdowns in our playoffs this year.
Before we get into the Super Bowl preview, Raiders are interviewing Clint Kubiak. I think he is a great candidate for this Raiders job. What do you think?
I think it's their only hope at this point. I like Clint Kubiak. He's been a good OC everywhere he's been. He's had a top 10 offense everywhere he's been as far as play calling. We'll just see here. The Raiders, it might as well be the Browns thing is that their salary cap's been fucked. It's been hard for them to work around the Deshaun Watson contract. The Raiders theirs is the coaching carousel. They're paying, a third of their fucking yearly salary to the coaches. So
yeah.
The talent's just not there. It shows in the draft rooms. I know they're going to get Mendoza. Everybody is like, he's minus 10,000 right now as the number one pick. Like, he is going to be the number one pick. And this is the best offensive mind left as far as head coaching. You've got Genty. You've got Bowers. You bring in Mendoza. Maybe he is the answer. I think this is probably the best hire that the Raiders have left. And if he says no, I don't know who they go and get that says, yeah, the Raiders might finish at 500 next year. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I do think this is the best person to pair up with Mendoza. You have a quarterback coach who's coaching in the freaking Super Bowl right now. And if he resurrected Sam Darnold. He got the ghosts out of his head because he was seeing ghosts his entire career. And then versus the Rams, he was always seeing ghosts versus the Rams. And he was cured because of Clint Kubiak.
Well,
he got him out of there.
Sam Darnold still led the league in interceptions this year with 20.
Yeah.
And he is only the second quarterback in history to make the Super Bowl, leading the league in turnovers. Do you know who the other guy was? Matt fucking Stafford.
Damn, it had to be someone who's aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Stafford. So we'll see. Yeah, that tells you who Kubiak is. You know, he wants his quarterback to take shots, tight windows, and you might as well. And if you're going to get a young guy, you better be somebody you believe in. So he better be a Mendoza guy and willing to work with him. And Mendoza is no Matt Stafford.
I truly believe that this will be better for Clint Kubiak too. You'll have a mobile quarterback for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Because Geno Smith was not as mobile as Mendoza is. And this is going to be
Mendoza reminds me of a leaner Andrew Luck.
Yes.
A very, likes contact, willing to take hits, but not Jackson Dart-esque. He can also make throws, but I don't know. And there's just something. He's smart. He's very smart. And I think this is a good mind to put with him if you're going to build a young guy up, especially with that franchise and their history in the last 10 years since they moved on from Carr.
Younger coach, you want a guy who's not old in the tooth. He ain't been to a lot of jobs in his career. He's been very steady in his jobs. So I think this is a great time to hire a guy like Clint Kubiak. He's the only one right now that is the finalist for this. So if the Raiders don't get him, it's because Clint said no. And I wonder why Clint would say no. But if he says no, they're in some deep water.
Yeah. And Arizona they're going to be some nobody that takes that job.
Yeah, some Joe Blow, freaking kickers coach.
Yeah. It's like, you give me 7 wins, we'll let you coach next year too, bitch.
Hey, we're paying you $2 million.
Yeah. We need 7 wins.
But let's get to the Super Bowl preview. Clint Kubiak, he leads us into this talk because he's going to have a good offensive call in this game if they want to win this game. Because I don't think the defense will have problems against the Seahawks, against the Patriots. The Seahawks defense should definitely do their job against this Patriots team. I do not want to bet on the Patriots to win right now. I'm leaning towards the 4.5 only because it's a Mike Vrabel defense. And I do believe that they'll make Sam Darnold make some mistakes because he almost made some mistakes against the Rams, who were not as good defensively. So,
yeah, that stat line was a little misleading.
It's fool's gold, guys.
Yeah.
He gonna throw a pick for sure this game. He's throwing a pick.
Well, and here's the thing. It really comes down to the play calling for Seattle. And I'll tell you right now, Vrabel being an outside linebacker in his career, being an edge rushing guy, yeah, his front seven is going to be good. This scheme for his front seven is going to be good. And he really has a lot of trust in Gonzalez, who is talented and is good. So it comes down to the secondary of New England and the scheme that they're going to pull off in the play action. And how stubborn is Seattle going to be with trying to run the ball with Walker?
Yes.
Because I'm telling you right now, I feel like New England's going to have a plan for Walker. They're going to stop their run at all costs, and they're going to make Sam Darnold win this Super Bowl with his arm. And Gonzalez is going to do his best to take JSN away. I'm not saying JSN won't have catches in this game, but he will be covered like a blanket for a lot of this because he's a big, long receiver or corner in Gonzalez, and he's been shutting people down all playoffs. So it comes down to Shaheed to me and the tight end play and the dump offs and how stubborn Seattle gets against the run. Because if you're going to try and run against this New England team, you're not gonna fare very well. They've been really good against the run. But play action and passing, if you're not throwing toward Gonzalez, that's your only chance. And it's about scheming guys open.
Bro, and even that's not even very safe because you got Carlton Davis, who has been doing his damn job.
People have forgot about his name, but he really has been a solid
Super Bowl
secondary.
winning Carlton Davis.
Yep. Hey, don't forget about my boy Milton up the middle for those Patriots either. Super Bowl champion last year.
They have guys.
And he's been a big presence on that D-line. So the Patriots, man, people have slept on the names on the defense. Honestly, that defense is a lot better than what they give him credit for. The offense has questions. Drake May's coming into this game with his throwing shoulder banged up. He would have been a limited participant this week if they did practice. It's not good. You got Sam Darnold with an oblique injury. There's only two ways this game plays out, and I'll give it to you now. It's either going to be a blowout by Seattle or the Patriots keep it close and ugly and low scoring and win by a field goal. So it's going to look like Patriots versus Jared Goff in the Super Bowl, or it's going to be Seattle versus old-ass Peyton Manning in that Super Bowl where it started with a safety and they got blown out 44-8. That's the only way this game works out. It's not going to be 31-28 final drive of the game type shit.
Oh, no, for sure. It's definitely going to be either a blowout. And even then, in a blowout with the Seahawks beating the Patriots, it's going to be a low-scoring game if it's a blowout, I feel like. I feel like the Seahawks, if they blow them out, they literally will score 30-7, 31-7, something like that, something crazy like that.
Ugly.
Under 45.
31-10.
Yeah, under 45 for sure. So
28-10, 27-10, 31-10.
But we'll
31-13. Either way, that's all unders.
we will wait until next week to give you our for sure picks, but we are definitely looking at these. These are the outcomes that we are analyzing before our for sure bets next week. But there's questions I want to talk to you about before we get off the show about this game. JSN receiving yards are at 95.5. Over under. What do you think?
That's a big number. Big
Dude.
number.
Dude.
And he's the number one target. You know you have to stop that guy.
Yeah.
And if you're Vrabel, you're not going into this game scared of Kenneth Walker, scared against REO, whatever the hell their tight end they took this year.
Yeah.
And you're not really scared of Shaheed. You know that Shaheed will beat you, but you're not going to let JSN beat you. No. That's who they've relied on all year. That's the number one receiving yard. That's the number one touchdown. He's the number one receiver. Like, he's receptions this year. Almost a Triple Crown winner this year. So as Vrabel, in my eyes, you think Gonzalez would shadow him all night. I don't see JSN hitting 100 yards in this game. I'm not saying he won't contribute, and I'm not saying he won't have a touchdown, but 95.5 is a lot.
Yes. The Patriots only allow 116 yards to the receiver per game this season. So you're not expecting him to get all those yards. I don't think so. I think the under is where I'm leaning to as well. And we liked him last game. I think he might still get a touchdown. He might do some of the other kind of damage. First down.
This ain't the Rams undersized secondary either.
I don't see big gains from him in this game. Okay, Kenneth Walker. You talk about Milton. Milton's going to be a big stuffing block in the middle of the defense. Does Kenneth Walker get to 73 yards? He had a great game last week. He's looking like he's the best running back you've ever seen. However, this is a different story. This is not the Rams. What do you think about this?
Well, and don't forget about the last 5 years of footage in fantasy football misery that this guy has put you through. And he has been overdrafted in every fantasy draft for the last 5 years. And even this year, he really wasn't that great. He was touchdown or bust as far as fantasy performances. And we just said, Vrabel, what is he? He is an outside linebacker and pressure. What is he going to stop? Your number one receiver in the run game. I'm going to make you beat me with your quarterback and his arm and the ability to spread the ball around. I'm going to take those two things away from you. That's the kind of coach he is. That's the kind of coach Belichick is. That's the game plan they had coming into Super Bowls was we need to take this away. And they focus on that specifically. And Vrabel is kind of that mindset. And he's a grinded-out coach. You know it is. His defense is grinded out. You're not going to just run all over him. So, no. I don't know. 73.5 is kind of a big number for him, too, in this game.
A lot.
Big game. I don't know. I'd feel more comfortable with him hitting the over than I would JSN on his receiving yards for sure at the moment.
True. Every Patriot is at plus 160 or more to score a touchdown anytime. They don't believe in these Patriots to put up points, bro.
I'd tell you who I'd put money on. If I'm going to put somebody to score a touchdown in this game, it's the Super Bowl. It's that type of game where guys, some crazy names. Not that this is a name that isn't big, but I think Travion Henderson in this game, anytime touchdown, I feel like this is where the difference maker is. He's a young guy. He's got speed, scheme to get him to the outside. This is not a team you can run on, so you've got to be able to have a guy that can catch, scheme him up, throw him out of the backfield. So I like Travion Henderson if I'm going to pick anybody to score a touchdown in this, other than a Drake May rushing touchdown.
True. I will say the Seahawks allow the second most receptions to the running back. They allow the fifth most yards in the receiving game to running backs. So they can.
And that's not Ramondre Stevenson.
It's not Ramondre. He's a fumbler, actually. And we saw that he was not used very much in the passing game in the last game, but it was a snowy game. This will be a warm weather game. But I do trust
San Francisco.
And he's the future. He's the future of this team. So
yes,
they want to get him.
Yeah, just early. I like Drake May and I like Travion Henderson touchdowns. If I'm going to take anybody on this Patriots team, but I prefer Drake May's rushing yards over his touchdown.
Oh, for sure. It is definitely good though that we know that the lines are giving us good odds for any Patriot we want to bet on. Because they will score.
We still got over a week before the game, so these lines will change. You better, if you like something you see now, jump on it. And I tell you that, guys, jump on these early bets because they will fluctuate. Like especially Super Bowl, they will be crazy by game time.
Drake May's anytime touchdown is plus 330, and Travion Henderson's is plus 550.
Oh my God. Put $10 on that, my boys.
Put $10 on. I'm putting $10 on Henderson for sure right now.
That's $55 coming back your way.
And then lastly, before we get off the podcast, both QBs are favored to throw an interception. What do you think about that, brother? You've been the INT guy. You've been the INT guy all season.
Look, yeah, Darnold led the leagues in interceptions. And then you got Drake May coming in with a banged-up shoulder on his throwing arm against the number one defense. Yeah. That is, I'm not surprised by that at all. Like, that's why I was like, well, those picks are almost worthless because I think they both will throw picks. Definitely May, if I had to take one. We'll see about Darnold. Well, the only way Darnold throws a pick is A, terrible decision because they get after him, or B, he's trailing, which I really don't see him having to throw the ball from behind to make crazy plays that would, put the ball in danger to when you're trying to throw the ball downfield, trailing late.
Drew, I get that a lot. I get that. Both teams are really stiff against the passing game. Both of them are allowing the least amount of passing. Top 10 in least amount of passing yards allowed. They are gritty. In terms of your rushing prop for Drake May, he should have a decent time against this Seahawks team. They are middle of the road against rushing quarterbacks, but they also are in a division where they don't have many guys with the legs of a Drake May. So
True.
He should be able to
Who's averaged 60 yards a game in the playoffs so far.
When you play freaking Jacoby Brissett twice a year, Matt Stafford twice a year, Brock Purdy twice a year, of course they're not running the ball that much. They're not running the
when
ball.
Brock Purdy is the scariest guy with legs in your division, there's a fucking problem.
Yeah, and I do see the Seahawks having an issue with Drake May's legs in this game. I think he has to put it on his back. MVP time.
Yeah. He's averaged 60 yards, 60 rushing yards a game in his playoff run so far. So that's one I'm looking for sure. Plus 50 yards. We'll get into just a little preview, but what we talked about, I'm leaning that way as of now. We'll have to tune in to see what we're looking at here, but yeah, Henderson at plus 550 anytime is insane. I would almost take him first to score.
Oh, first to score. Now you're getting some big money because that's first to score is plus 2,800.
Whoa, yeah. Put $10 on that.
Even first Patriot to score is plus 1,500.
Yeah, I would put $10 on that for sure.
1,500.
I just feel like Travion. I feel like Travion for sure is going to be the difference if they're going to score in this game.
Yeah.
What's Seattle's weakness? Receiving running backs.
Yeah. Yes, and they are not throwing the ball deep against the Seahawks team. Though they're not freaking. No, they're not.
No, not with a banged up shoulder on his throwing arm. Not with that receiving core, and not with the kind of game plan that Vrabel knows he's outgunned. He is going to keep it close by smash mouth defense and dink and dunk and get it to the running backs in space.
Seahawks are top 5. And most attempts allowed to the quarterback. I do see that being something that Drake May has to do in this game because the dink and dunk, they are also top 5 worst against the tight end. Dink and dunk, tight end stuff, running back stuff.
Hunter Henry first touchdown too.
Yes.
This is the game to sprinkle all that, boys. $10 is going to make you a profit if you put it on 3-4 guys.
It can get Austin Hooper crazy.
Yeah, who has scored in a Super Bowl.
Blocking tight end. So I think that there could be a lot of things going on this. Okay, we'll get into it, though. We will save the meaty, juicy picks for next week just to get y'all savoring, get y'all drooling for the good bets.
Hey, and we'll have some crazy bets that you can't even bet on the rest of the year, like coin flips and anthem times.
Yes.
So we'll see. We might even break that down for you guys.
We're sprinkling $5-10 on a lot of things in this next episode after this one. So
hey man, it's the last game of the season. It's the last big thing I'm gonna bet on until March Madness rolls around. Because that's what I'm looking at now is college basketball teams. Woo! It's a crazy year there too, boys.
That's gonna be where it gets real fun. But we will also we're also going to try to have Kobe, our basketball extraordinaire, on this podcast for the Super Bowl because he wants to say what he has to say about this game too. He wants to try to get this trifecta on camera because some of y'all who watch our show, you also have tuned into the basketball podcast, our Double Dribble podcast under the same banner. If you go to YouTube, you'll see all of them, football ones and basketball ones. He's been doing good. He's 5-2 in the last 2 episodes. He's been going great in basketball, NBA. So we are going to collide with this. He's going to pop in for our next episode, our last episode of the football season, just to show himself to people who may not have watched the NBA podcast. But this is good for y'all to know. We have so many great minds in this betting world. He doesn't know a lot about football, but he knows a lot about this specific game. And he wants to just show unbiased, so like, if you guys are a regular, non-really football fans, this is the same thing you're going to get from Kobe. He's going to be an unbiased. I don't have a favorite team in football. I'm just going to give you a regular fan watching the game one time a year input. And that was what sometimes we need it. Sometimes we need it sometimes just to get a little bit of a look. But thank you all for tuning in. Signing off. Please like and subscribe. We'll be back next week with the juicy picks.
The best. A lot of props coming your way.
We 7-3 last week. We ended the season strong. We can go. If we go 7-3 on these picks next week, it's even crazier. More money than last week.
Oh, and this is the spectacle of the year. So, yeah. Like you saw those plus numbers. Travion Henderson hasn't been above plus 280 all year for any time. 550. Come on, dog. It's all big this week.
550 is crazy.
Yeah.
So,
tune in. We're going to make you some money like we've been doing all year.
Hey, good luck with your bets as always. Good luck this weekend if you're betting on NBA or soccer or whatever you're betting on. I'll be posting some videos on the YouTube just to give y'all some picks to look forward to other sports like hockey. I've been hot in hockey lately, so I'm going to give y'all some hockey picks. But check out.
You guys want to talk MMA, NASCAR?
Yeah.
MMA, NASCAR, and golf, I'm your guy. I got you there too. So we'll see what we all talk about here. We might start throwing our favorite bets your way. Of just what's our favorite bet, any sport, any time, any day of the week. We might just start having to throw you guys out until football season comes back around.
Not to go on a tangent, but my man Shaq, he watches UFC. We really about to do something crazy. We about to
I went 6-1. 6-1 this last weekend. The only fight I lost was the Rose fight.
Bro, the Rose fight screwed me over too, bro. So
the only one.
We are gonna have a good time because UFC just came back last week. They have one this week, which is a good fight card as well. But
we got Volk. You got Volk and Lopez, man.
I feel like our dynamic fits right into the UFC too, bro.
Easy money to be made. Easy money to be made in the UFC, guys. If you're a big fan, follow along.
Yes. But tune in next week for our Super Bowl bets. We'll be talking to y'all. We'll be talking on the side, behind the scenes, about this UFC show now because we done talk something into existence, bro. Thank you all for tuning in, and good luck with your bets as always. Peace.
Peace.